Welcome back. I cannot believe this, but we are actually on the last video. So first of all, congratulations, because I feel like we've been on a journey together. And if you have made it to this last video, if you've been chugging along doing all the activities, then just give yourself a huge pat on the back, or better yet, go treat yourself to like your favorite dessert or coffee, or like get a pedicure, whatever it is, because you have been putting in the work and I am proud of you. So well done. And yeah, just take a second. It's a little clappy clap. Anyway, we're gonna jump right into the next thing, which is how to use social media and your mailing list to promote your release. First, let's talk about what not to do. What you don't want to do is just incessantly post about whatever it is that you're selling or promoting with no context or no alignment with your brand. That is annoying and nobody likes it. And I think probably you know that by now if you've made it this far, but just in case, I would suggest reading up on the 70-20-10 rule, which I will include a link to below. But basically what it says is 70% of your content should be brand building, 10% should be sales, and 20% should be sharing from other brands. So I kind of said that in a weird order, but 70% brand building, 20% sharing from other brands. So, things like sharing another band's show, or, if you're a wine shop and the chocolate shop down the street is, having a big festival, like that would be appropriate to share because it builds relationships and it also is relevant to your audience, because who doesn't love wine and chocolate? And then the last thing is 10% should be selling, and that's it. And most people tend to, I think, do it in reverse, where they do 70% selling and 10% brand building, but that's no good. That's not what you want to do. So just wanted to get that out of the way really quickly. Like I said, I'll include a link to that sort of elaborates more on it. And I would, check that out. It's a good starting point. So you want to give your audience something to look forward to. And what this means is just including little nuggets of information in the lead up to the release that gets your audience excited. So this could be, trivia about whatever you're about to release. If it's a song, you could just send out a 10-second clip or a 30-second clip. It could be a promo photo. It could be, it could be anything, like whatever it is specific to what you're releasing and that gets your audience excited without completely giving it away. That's what you want to do. And once it's out, you want to get creative about how you share it. So again, not just saying, hey, here's this song, hey, here's this new course. Like, you want to have fun with it. And there are some really cool ways to do this, of thinking outside the box. So you could do a scavenger hunt, like a digital one, or even better, an in-person one. I've always wanted to take part in that. Or you could run a contest. So you could have, fans design the cover art of your new album, or the packaging for your new product, or, I don't know, the landing page for your new course, or you have them create a video where they're using the product or service and telling people what they think, and you choose the best one and feature. Like, there are so many ways to do this that, again, are going to be specific to your brand, but the idea is to really get your fans involved and make them part of the process. It's such a good way to build that relationship and make them feel like VIPs while also just getting creative about it. So with those first two, your action items, I really want you to just brainstorm your next, say, 2 or even just one big release, and then start to think about how you can creatively promote that in some of the ways that we've just talked about. And even if that release is 6 months from now, just keep a doc that you can go back to. That's totally fine. So I am a huge fan of collaboration, and this is my next tip, which is to find other entrepreneurs or brands, people in your space that have access to a totally different audience, but where they're similar enough that they're going to find interest in what you do, and work with them to promote in creative ways. So a couple things you could do. You could be on their podcast, do a live Q&A on their Facebook or their Instagram. You could write a guest post for their blog or newsletter. You could do a takeover on their Instagram for just a day when you're in the studio or making a new product, or like something behind the scenes. Like, this is all a good way of building relationships while getting in front of a totally new audience. So just think of a couple, like action item number 2 here. Think of a couple people that you would love to collaborate. Have a couple dream people up there, but also some more realistic ones, people who are in the same life stage as you. Think about people who you would like to collaborate with, and then think of how you could collaborate. And the reason I say to think of the people first is because I think if you're really excited about a specific person or their brand, then it's a lot easier to work on the ideas from there rather than trying to just find somebody who you don't know that fits into it. But that said, always be open to collaborations because you never know where it might lead. So when it comes to your mailing list, you always want to make sure they're getting whatever it is you're launching first. And not only does this make them feel like VIPs, but they are your biggest fans, so they should get that stuff first. And not only that, when they're excited about it, and they're gonna then go share on their own social media or their own mailing list, like they're gonna be your biggest advocates. And so by sharing it with them, by making them feel special and nurtured, and then giving them a call to action, like, go follow me here or share this here, or the first 10 people to do this will win this. Like that is going to get them out there and sharing, and they will always be your biggest advocates. So it's really important to build and nurture that relationship. So that actually, if you can believe it, wraps up our 4-part series. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you have learned a lot. I hope these action tips have been helpful. I know we've just scratched the surface, but I think it's enough that you guys will really be able to get out there and start to take charge of your PR and your press and start to really build opportunities that you can get excited about. So thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this series, please pass it along to someone you know that might enjoy it. And in the meantime, congratulate yourself again, pat yourself on the back. And I would love to hear in the comments just your overall takeaway from this whole series, like the number one thing you learned and are excited to implement. And please follow me on Instagram as well. I'll be including more tips there, and you guys know you'll be the first to get new videos. So thank you again. Thank you for being part of this. I will see you soon.